Hi, and thank you for joining us. I'm Nick Kolev, and this is Startup Bright, the time and place we talk all about startups. Our guests today are Ivo Georgiev and his team. This is not the first time Ivo has joined us for an interview, but I believe many things changed since his last interview, and he will update us with very interesting news. We're going to talk about all the changes and new ideas in his startup. I think he changed even the name of his startup, but we'll learn more about it as the interview goes. Ivo, welcome, and please go ahead and introduce yourself and your team.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having this for us today. And yes, we do have a lot of changes in the past year. We did some direction changes for the company. We did the name change. We also have a new team. We have been talking to different technology advisors, also investors and community that just helped us direct better our vision and polish details on how we are going to go to market and seek funding to continue further on this endeavor. Our company is Universal Experience Ventures, and I'm Ivo Georgiev, CEO and founder of the company. The team currently has a few members. Nikolai, which is our Chief Marketing Officer, and also Yana Kotseva, that is with us today. She is the Business Development Chief, responsible for reaching out to different partners that we plan to involve in this and make contacts, engage them, work together, and possibly also get some additional funding from these partnerships. The problem that the company is trying to solve is the safety of driving, especially for young people, but not only. As we know, everybody today is continuing to use their smartphones as they drive, either for texting or just briefly looking for navigation. And this is extremely dangerous. It creates a lot of accidents on the road. It's strongly discouraged by the government and the police department, but it's just happening because people keep using their smartphones. They're not gonna stop doing this if they don't have a solution to replace this behavior. So this is the problem we're trying to address, and we currently are targeting this particularly for older vehicles or new base model vehicles that currently do not have any infotainment system, or the infotainment system is not modern and usable by these end users, and for that reason they are just not using it and kind of using their smartphone instead, affecting the safety of their actually their particular safety and the safety of other people because they are on the road. The solution that our company developed and has a vision for is to create a software that runs on any smartphone platform. It's platform agnostic, and it's also will be able to be used in any vehicle, no matter whether you are renting a car for a few days, or you're taking other family member car for, again, temporarily, or it's your own vehicle that you have purchased a few years ago, and for that reason it doesn't currently have any modern infotainment system. This application will be, it's a software application that will run on smartphones, but also our real target is to for that same software to run on a tablet, which will provide a larger screen, better visibility, less distraction, and we hope that this will be the solution that will make people use our software and do not touch their phones, or just interacting with their phones to be safer, quicker, and just to provide the most essential functions that a person needs as they drive, which is usually contacting your favorite contacts, calling them, your family or friends, and obviously navigating to where you are going. This needs to be provided as an essential function. And the third one is obviously to play music, audiobooks, or any other kind of entertainment or listening that you require as you drive or you're stuck in the traffic. The market for our solution is huge, and basically we've researched three major points of the market and why our solution fits perfectly and has a potential with significant growth currently and in the coming years. And the first metric is the automotive infotainment system market, just as a general. It's pretty much estimated to reach 54 billion by 2027, and it's growing by a tremendous pace. All the major players in this market are trying to provide their own solution and to get a piece of this huge market. And we also as well are players in this particular growth and market segment. The other matrix that we also examined and researched is the smartphone usage. And again, we find that people have used in the past years extremely their phones for anything from work to just communication, entertainment, everything. And this smartphone usage is also by statistics that we found is expected to grow and further even more. Basically some of the statistics shows that 73% of the total number of phones worldwide are actually smartphones. And again, it's basically exponentially growing with 1 billion per year, and it's expected to stay for the next years like that. And the third metrics that we examined was the global in-vehicle applications market size, and particularly this falls into two categories. Currently, the new vehicles, the new luxury vehicles that are being produced by automakers, they are already in communication and integration with the Google Android system or the Apple CarPlay system. So they do have this with larger screens and with this system or software that makes the same, has the same goal of having people access to the most common functions as they drive, to be safe, and to avoid any distraction as they are on the road. In that particular global in-vehicle applications market, there's, again, this huge number of vehicles that are already on the road. They're produced in the past years. And also currently you can buy a new vehicle with a base configuration that lacks these modern infotainment system options. And for right now, this market is way bigger than the new luxury vehicles that are produced and have this as a standard option. So we, as we research this market, and we know that we definitely have opportunity here with our solution. We have several competitors and companies that are doing similar or same solution. They're doing it differently. We compete in different ways with each one of them. But as always, we strive to be perfect, to have a better solution for the same function than our competitors. We believe that we can do it better than them. And that's how we want to actually, we want a chance to prove that, to implement our solution and to prove that ours is definitely better than what the competition currently has. Few names to mention in as our competitors. Drivebox is purely a software solution similar to what we intend to build. It is currently on the market as a standalone application for smartphones. Our evaluation and research shows that it's not well executed, even though overall the goal is similar to ours. Obviously, the team has fallen behind in implementing safety as a priority in their software, and it's for most of the functions it's not even usable. That's why it's so low on the graph here, as providing low safety and low quality product. And then there's another segment of generic audio systems produced by major makers of third-party audio systems, Sony, JVC, Kenwood. Usually they build aftermarket audio systems that you replace your car audio system with theirs. They're expensive. They require installation, custom installation to be done by the dealerships or an aftermarket auto repair shop. So you can use their solution as a replacement and for the old, obviously, audio system, infotainment system in your car. And we compete differently with them because our solution is easy to deploy. People are already using their phones, so we use their phones as a hardware instead of building our own dedicated hardware, which will be extremely difficult to maintain and keep up to date, repair, etc. And that's where our vision and solution comes in to build something, an application that's universal, and it doesn't matter where people are using a different platform, Android versus iOS. They will have exactly the same experience. Everything will be very easy to use, requiring minimum time to learn and to get used to, and will be for anyone, really, not a particular group that will benefit from this software. It will be a solution that you can rely on.
Let me ask you, how did you come up with this idea? Was it something that you wanted to have in your car? How did you recognize this need? You know, how the idea was born? You know, is there interesting story around it?
Yes, I definitely can share this. This product and idea was born out of a pain and need. Yes, I definitely needed this in my car because I realized that I'm actually using my smartphone and it's unsafe to do so even for few seconds. If you're not paying attention to the road, then you can get into a real accident. Originally, the idea started just as a communication platform, an easy way to call your favorite contacts. I have more than 300 contacts, but I don't call them every day, especially when I'm driving. But I do have 5, 10, 15 contacts that I dial on a regular basis. So the idea started as just purely to be able to have a photo of my favorite and family members, and with a single click be able to dial them without navigating through small fonts on the phone, the actual layout of the phone, portrait versus landscape, and just the fact that on a smartphone, for every single function, you have to open a separate application. And this is extremely not convenient and not usable, especially when you have only a second to actually do this and communicate to your favorites and or start a music that would entertain you on the road. So this is how it was born. And of course, this is also not only resolving a particular issue and pain, but will provide entertainment, because most people, that's why they reach out for their smartphones, because all their personal entertainment is on the phone. Music, audiobooks, they carry those smartphones all the time with them. Pretty much is expected that you don't go anywhere without your phone. And instead of providing a custom third-party solution that sits in your car and you synchronize the information, the personal information between your phone and that third-party system, our idea is actually to run the software on that smartphone. Since you enter the car with it, you exit the car with it, you keep it all the time with you at home, and it's always up to date. And in terms of hardware, people are keeping their smartphones updated on a regular basis, yearly or in a 2-year period of time. So they're always modern and powerful. They're very powerful. They can run any software easily.
That was the main reason actually I joined the team, because I need this kind of application to my phone. I mean, I'm driving an old vehicle, but my phone is smart. So I really needed something that will be with me all the time. It will be easy to use, it will be safe, and I can play my music while using the maps. And yeah, that was the main reason, one of the reasons.
And I spoke also with other kind of friends and in our community, and they feel the same way. They do have all their personal information on their phones, but just because of the complexity and the different implementation of the operating systems on these phones, there's currently no single universal solution that brings all these functions in under one interface, very easy to and intuitive to use, and it at the very end safe, to provide safety, because this is the what we are concentrating on, to not only to provide something useful, but to stress particularly on the safety element.
Yeah, I also kind of agree and see this problem that, you know, we have these extremely powerful machines in our hands, and the only thing that I would eventually need is a different or bigger screen, right? Because on the phone you lack a screen state. So I would eventually love to see, you know, having my phone is the major CPU unit for me that holds all the information, you know, music, documents, everything that I need, and just use different screen factors depending on where I am. For example, you know, I would like to see a docking station at work, at home, where I can just dock my phone and use bigger screen, and that's my the phone is my main CPU that I'm gonna use ever. And if I can dock it in my car, you know, that is the same thing. You just need headless um, terminals that can connect to your phone, and you can go everywhere you want with your phone. So how do you guys plan to find customers, or rather, how do you plan to reach to all these customers that are driving cars that are, you know, uh, either not happy with the infotainment system that they currently have, or they're not happy with Android Auto or CarPlay, or for example, they have older models that do not already have this kind of systems, and they're looking to buy a aftermarket solution.
Yeah, I can address this. Basically, I'll address the go-to-market strategy that we have. Exactly answering your question, how we're gonna go and get our user base, and then the business model. So the go-to-market, we are going to start by targeting parents of young drivers to just get into the market and gain traction and initial user base. We'll, as soon as we have the MVP version of the product, we'll release it as a free version on the application stores on both Android and iOS. So anyone can download and use for free, because they should be entitled for safety in their cars, and for this functionality, for the most basic functions, you should not have to pay anything. And this is for the version for the smartphones, again, covering Android and iOS. Anyone can download, use for free. We'll focus our marketing campaign to acquiring particularly users that are parents of young drivers, and anyone who is concerned about the safety of their kids. They might not be even just because we are going to provide them with a safe solution that they can use their phones, use safely, and give them extra comfort that they're better off than trying to switch between different other applications as they drive. We will use additional paid modules in this free version that will just give additional functionality as a monthly subscription for buying additional, but again, the most basic functions will be free of charge for anyone to use. We will also work on the tablet version of the software, which will be a one-time license to purchase and use forever, which, as you pointed out, will provide a bigger screen and comfort level to use all this information. As we know, most of the automakers today, they produce cars with 8 plus, 9 plus, 10 plus inch of displays built in these cars. This is the trend for new vehicles. It's not going down, like providing smaller infotainment system screens. It's going up. Some of the automakers go into extreme to 35-inch and 50-inch multiple displays. Tesla was one of the automakers that produced a 10-inch screen from the very beginning, and as a standard option as a central console for the driver to use for information and control of the car. Our business model, again, I'll probably repeat some of it, but is to release a free version of the software that will prevent drivers from texting. Instead, if it will implement one-touch actions, action functions for, again, the most essential needs that a driver has. This will be safety features that our software will provide for free for anyone. The main features that we'll cover with this software is to communicate, navigate, and entertain. And then our business model will expand from that free version into premium features, which will be, again, on a monthly purchase level or a single time purchase of additional functions and modules. We'll use intelligent usage preferences for personalizing the software to everyone's needs. And so that decisions are made based on everyone's preferences in terms of how to navigate to a particular place, what kind of entertainment you mostly use, how to better reach out to your favorites. Everything, all of this will be personalized. And we also integrate with third-party channels and applications. Again, this will become a premium feature that will be purchased separately. We also plan to establish strategic partnerships with insurance companies, with some corporate entities and the government, with the goal to actually have their user base join and use our solution. We'll provide them with the tool to empower their users to use a safer software as they drive, and insurance companies can incentivize their user base with lowering their premiums, insurance premiums. So it will be a partnership in which both sides, we as a solution provider and the insurance companies, for example, can take advantage and serve better their user base.
This is new about the insurance companies. I didn't know about this element of your new development and new application. This is a big change, and I believe this is a very big winning point if you and your team manage to get to work with the insurance companies and kind of show them that an integrated application that has all the features and functionality that is needed and easy to operate reduces the risk of incidents and accidents on the road. That would be really big win for your company, for your startup.
Yeah, let me expand a little bit on that. Yes, this is new. We had this for quite some time, but it's taking a clearer shape right now as what we need to implement, how to reach to insurance companies, what to offer to them. So let me expand a little bit on that. We are planning to collect drivers' behavior statistics with our software, and then with their acknowledgement, of course, with the end user acknowledgement that they agreed to do so. And when we decide to establish a partnership with the insurance companies, we can use their established user base that they already have, so they can say to our customers and our users, please use this solution, and collect information on how you drive or your driving habits, and share with us. In exchange, we can lower your premiums because you're a good driver, and you're staying safe on the road without making any violations or any sorts of not safe driving.
Mhm.
We also are currently in a process of patenting a technology for alerting drivers and notifying them of important traffic conditions
Traffic conditions.
that are happening on the road, which also will provide more safety for everyone, for the driver itself, but not also for the driver, for those that are around the driver as well. The feature is similar to other current solutions that alert you for incidents on the road, but ours is more oriented towards motorcyclists and emergency vehicles approaching your location. For example, if you're in an intersection and there's an emergency vehicle, police or fire truck coming in your way on that intersection, we will alert the driver to be attentive on the road, to give way to that emergency vehicle, as opposed to not hearing the emergency sound of that vehicle and cause an incident, as preventing this emergency vehicle to get to where they're rushing to get to. So all these partnerships that we are planning and to implement are very important in our business model and revenue, as we start to build the more professional version of the product that will have all of these features incorporated, and we can reach out to those external strategic partnerships and work together for everyone's safety and a better just better driving experience.
Yeah. I wanted to ask Jana about her vision for business development of this application. How do you see the business development aspect of the business? Because frankly, you know, building an application is an engineering problem, but then we have to be successful, we have to market it properly, we have to segment customers properly. What is your plan? You know, let's assume that the application is finished and we have the Android version and iOS version. What is the business plan? What is the business development plan? How do you see that?
Well, first of all, we need some advertising, of course, because we need to go to the target and make them believe that they need this application. Then we'll need the social media for sure.
So you plan on social media advertising and marketing in addition to reaching out directly with
yes.
regular advertising on different channels.
Yeah, that's the main idea, because nowadays everything's happening with the social. So yeah.
It's a main, yes, it's a main a channel that we will try to communicate to our target end users to try to get them to use our application and give it a try, see if it works for them, and retain them as a permanent user, not as a user that will just temporarily download the software,
Right.
take a look at it, and then never use it. We are actually trying to retain customers to use our software on a daily basis every time they enter their car and they're on the road. That will be a successful acquired customer.
Right, right. So, Ivo, what is the, do you have like a number in mind, like to ask investors? Are you already working on approaching investors? Where do you stand in that process of getting funded?
Yes, we do have a calculated number, which we based on how many people we would need for development, for sales and marketing, for customer acquisition, for some technology and research. And we basically built this into a spreadsheet with different hires that we need to look for, and to produce this software in a 1 year time frame. And that number currently is $1.6 million. And although there are areas in which we can shortcut and we can decrease this requirement to a smaller number, this is our perfect vision for how this software needs to be developed, and the funds that we need for this. Because again, I will repeat this, our priority is safety. So this solution is not a joke, this is not a game. We want to have the proper funds to not have to shortcut any of this development and either create a solution that's not perfect, that does not provide the right solution for our users, as the actual acquisition will strongly depend on the quality, of the high quality of our product. So if we get the funds that we plan, that we need, we will make sure that this product has the highest quality to compete with big companies that have millions in funds to actually work on theirs. If we do not have the funds, the funds that we plan to raise, obviously we'll have to start cutting from either one of the areas for spending, which will have a negative impact on our development and providing the right solution.
How big of a team do you envision that you're going to need? Software developers, and in addition to that, business development and marketing. How big of a team do you plan to hire?
So we will be hiring a software company to develop the software for both platforms, and the team is around 10-12 people. They cover quality assurance, they cover the actual developers with different platforms and covering the different modules specifically. We also plan for the technical lead project manager for the product, who will obviously supervise this software team, and will make sure that the deliveries are right on time, and they're functional, and they have been tested and proven not to have any sort of bugs or issues. On the sales and marketing side, we plan to have some of us, of our founders, work actively on the marketing efforts and trying to reach again the established partnerships with different organizations. We may need to hire one or two more as helping in that department, particularly the marketing department, and go and look for that user base and partnerships even before we have that software and application developed. On the technology side, we're planning to hire one person in addition to myself. I will personally spend a lot of time myself on that technology and the research and development side, but I would also look for another hire to help with in this particular area. And we'll need not particularly to hire, but to spend funds into customer acquisition, as Jana mentioned, social media advertising campaigns, any other paid, maybe even on the public media, TV advertisement to actually get this message out so people know what we're working on, when they can start expect to have it and to start using it. Again, when we launch the first version, it will be free for use for anyone, because we believe this is something that everyone is
entitled to use and have
right.
access to.
We will not ask for money for someone to be safe on the road.
Okay, I'm really excited with all the changes and updates that you just provided. I'm very excited about your startup, and I will be very closely monitoring what is going on and what is happening. You know, not only because your project is very interesting, but also because, you know, we are friends, and I really want to see you succeed in your ideas and endeavor. I want to thank you and Jana for joining us, and I'm looking forward to hear from you guys new updates, and we should probably get together again in 6 months or so to see where we are.
Okay. Thank you so much for having us today, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.